Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. And the ambassador's designate list, which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sent to the National Assembly for screening, definitely, stoked the fire of public opinion up to a reasonable degree and added several dimensions to a national discourse which has been dominated for some time by national security concerns. Public opinion about the names, the worldviews, and precedents of the people on that list has been pretty polarized as how Nigerians have been reacting to the recent pressure from the U.S. on Nigeria to come clean over a claim made by the President Donald Trump of genocide being perpetrated against Christians by Fulani jihadists. So joining us now to have a conversation about insecurity and that ambassador's list that has stirred a lot of reactions are Abayomi Arabambi, the factional national vice chairman of the Labour Party, and Isaiah Davies Ijele, the convener, the Coalition for Good Governance. And good morning to you both.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having me here.
Of course, it's good to have you here.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right.
Good to have you both here. So, I think the first question I have is just when we think about, some of the world's great diplomats, Henry Kissinger, Kofi Annan, these big names that have made history for their countries for different reasons. What do you make of the ambassadors list as it stands today? I mean, just in terms of how we are portraying ourselves as Nigerians to the global community. And I'll start with you.
Well, thank you very much. With due respect to the introduction, Labour Party doesn't have any faction anymore. I am a substantive national vice chairman. We do not have faction, so that we will not be promoting this kind of information outside. INEC has recognized by Julius Abure, and INEC recognized Alhaji Farouk Lawan. Only one body, if you Google it now, you will see there we do not have any faction. Okay. So that, for some other time, we only have one, Labour Party in Nigeria. Now, with respect to your question, you see, the Chapter 6, Part 1, Section 171 of the Constitution, gave the prerogative and right to Mr. President to appoint ambassadors. And there are some things I would like to read here. That, the power to appoint ambassadors include, that is Section 2, offices to which this section apply, secretary, head of service, ambassador, commissioner, and the rest. But Section 3 said appointment to the office of ambassador, high commissioner, or other principal representative for Nigeria abroad shall not have effect unless the appointment is confirmed by the Senate. Mm-hmm. That is what the Constitution, stipulated. Yes. So now that the president has the prerogative to appoint, his ambassador, the nominee, they will also go before the Senate. Their resume will not be presented, to the Senate for approval. I believe the Akpabio-led Senate will definitely do justice. You remember, a lot of them were nominated for minister, but some of them were returned. Correct. Yeah, some of them were returned. So no matter the, political hierarchy being generated, by, some forces condemning some of the ambassadorial nominees, even somebody was saying, they ought to be in jail, when we are not the court. I think we should allow the Senate, to do the proper work. Then all of us should watch it, because they will normally ask you to stand in the podium. They will read out your, resume to Nigerians, so that if the Senate now compromises, then we can now begin to have, issues, with them. But I want to believe that everyone nominated, except one person, which I felt the president, ought not to have considered is Reno.
Why do you think the president should not have considered him?
Yeah, you see, because, a lot of people have been having misgivings, about antecedent, to...
No, but what's your own misgiving about his antecedent?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, he was a little bit, vociferous about certain issues and some individuals. So that was why you see everybody, complaining. I think probably they are 68. Probably the president should have submitted 67 first, allow the dust to settle, then, they will just sneak his name, into it. That's the only thing I think, when people, start talking about the ambassador nominee, though he is qualified, the only issue they have is that, he has abused the president once, he has abused the president twice. Even Donald Trump, you see him taking all his friends as an ambassador. Today, our man is even having issue with the president. I mean, that's Elon Musk. You knew what happened during the election. You knew why, Kalama Harris accepted. He said, in the interest of peace, this is not what we expected. But today, you know, they are best of friends.
Well, he didn't just abuse the president. He made serious allegations against the person, of the president in a manner that could affect the image of the country. But let me bring in Isaiah into the conversation. I hope you can hear me, Isaiah.
Yes.
All right. You have heard what Dr. Arabambi, has to say, but I would like you to dimension the issues a bit more. The key issues here, first, will be the fact that maybe the Nigerian government or the president will not have approved the release of the list of ambassadors that he has reportedly prepared for more than 1 year if President Donald Trump was not breathing down our necks, as the Senate president said the other time. And then the question of the sort of a few characters, even though, yes, we should acknowledge that there are 34 career diplomats on the list as against about 31 non-career diplomats. But then there are issues of a few individuals that they think ought not to have been submitted, even if the Senate will ultimately have the wherewithal to deny them. And then that all of these things are linked to the fact that there's insecurity in the land, and the reason why you are now rushing to appoint ambassadors is because America has pointed out that error. What are your thoughts, Isaiah, on all this going on about the nomination of candidates as ambassadors?
Thank you very much, Mr. Steve, and good morning, my brother over there. You see, it is true that Donald Trump has awakened the spirit of politicians in Nigeria to realize that, look, you have somebody that can hold you accountable. One of the problems we have as a nation is because the politicians deal with all of us and mess us around, and they feel they can go scot-free. And because they have their way with INEC any day, any time. But today, I want to appreciate Donald Trump for, even if they are not going to come into the country to assist, at least they have awakened a giant to stand on their toes and do the right things. And the list, just like my brother said, I don't agree with some of the things you said, but listen to this. Mr. Steve, that list, there are some names on that list that ought not to be even mentioned anywhere around our diplomatic cycle except of Sambisa Forest. Person like Reno, Kayode, Mahmood, the rest, they should go to Sambisa and represent them. They cannot represent me. And the reason is very simple. We don't have people of a questionable character. If you want to present people at the diplomatic front to negotiate for the country, to put the country in a good light, to speak about the good going on in the country, it is not somebody like Reno. It is not the person who called you drug baron. It is not the person who called the Igbos murderers, drug dealers, and evil. It is not somebody that have profiled the whole race in a country. Now, go to Kayode. Do you know one of the persons that have brought out major personal insult? Listen to me, Mr. Steve. I've been coming on your show, criticize and say a lot of things about governance. But I want you to prove me wrong or show me where I've ever insulted any politician. No. But these people, they don't understand criticism and insult. So they use in the guise of activists or activism to insult elder personally. How can you call somebody even to his bedroom activity in his bedroom? It has nothing to do with governance. And listen to this. It is very disheartening that these are also happening at the height of insecurity when people like Reno have been the one telling the whole world that a Christian genocide, killings are going on, Islamization is in the forefront of this campaign. All of a sudden, he turned around. It's the same thing with Kayode, because they're looking for the food from the current government. And that is why, you see, Mr. President, you need to listen to Nigerians and listen to us. Those are the mistakes he made, even by appointing Tunji Ojo as an interior minister with a questionable certificate. And so many appointees, we are going down the same memory lane. Don't forget, Mr. Steve, Abbas just finished as a governor, a sole administrator of River State. His name is Hondelis. This man was the former CNS. This man was the former ambassador to Ghana. So it's like they are rotating this thing among themselves, not a career diplomat, and not even people with integrity that can represent us. For goodness sake, Bola Ahmed Tinubu campaign mantra is progress. Progress, renew hope. Renew hope for the elders or for the young one. I am among the young one that we want to be among the people that take decisions for our country. You cannot pull the people who have no part in the future to negotiate it for us. Let we, the youth, negotiate our future because it is belong to us. You are packing all the elders. How many youth are on that list, for goodness sake? We don't have much youth there. Field of elders, people that are in their 80s, in their 60s. No, I want my age mate, I want people in my 40s to be on that list so that we can drag them and hold them accountable when things are wrong. We cannot keep rotating in the political cycle, still rotating themselves among the elite, among the who know who your father, your mother. It is very disheartening.
Your points are well made. We'll come back to you, but let's have Dr. Arabambi here. I'm sure that Annie, you have something to add, Dr. Arabambi.
Yes. So I think my question to you is, to Isaiah's point, if we kind of contrast this with the speed with which General Christopher Musa was nominated and confirmed and sworn in, it happened, in pretty rapid succession. You've mentioned that we're waiting for the Senate to screen these ambassadorial nominees, but how do you see that playing out? Do you think Nigerians' concerns that some of these nominees may not be the best choice will be put into question, or how does the Senate kind of play out all of this?
Well, the section of the Constitution is very clear that it is only when the Senate cleared you that you can now bear that title of an ambassador. Once you are not cleared, you are dropped. My contention here is that, it's not just good for us to, make a sweeping statement about people's integrity when we actually do not know them. Until, like me now, I normally have time when they are, when they are going to do their screening, even if it's going to take 7 hours, I will stand glued to the TV to read out, their resume. This is where we can now begin to have complaint. It is not that, any one of them are not qualified. The president has that prerogative to appoint those that they think they can manage our international relations, they can promote trade. Now, we still have to have that implicit confidence in the Mr. President that these people we appointed are his own best choice. As a shrine in, passage, Chapter 1, Section 171 of the Nigerian Constitution as amended. So until when they are presented, to the Senate as an opposition, you don't just make a sweeping remark. He is not a position, but I am one. You don't just make a sweeping remark about people you don't know, because if you say somebody is not qualified, at the end of the day, he is qualified, you might not be able to say one or two things about that person anymore. So I believe, even the issue of Christopher General Musa, there are certain things, there are certain intricacies in governance that we are not supposed to know. Like now, you cannot write freedom of information out to Nigerian Army that, how many weapons do you have? What with this investigation, or even to the Inspector General of Police? It is prescribed by the law. They know why they asked Musa to retire, to disengage from the military, and now they have appointed him. All these appointments are prerogative for Mr. President, like stated in Section 171. So if anybody now say, the former president did it, when all those service chiefs retired, he gave them ambassadorial position. They did their best, Some of them did their best, even though, there are skirmishes here and there. But the people he appointed, let us wait until when the Senate will present their resume to Nigerians. And I trust, if there is going to be any petition, it must have been forwarded to the Senate. I trust Nigerians.
But how much does public opinion matter? Does public opinion, kind of like what we were hearing from Isaiah, does it matter or does it not matter?
It matters, but the president cannot be running on public opinion. And I will give you an example.
He cannot be running on public opinion?
Alone, yes. In America today, you see the judges fighting with Donald Trump over the deployment of security forces. That has never been done in the history of America. You see this man now, putting in military, where you see the way they are murdering people this is a country that we felt, oh, they respect human rights, but you saw what Trump is doing, because he felt his own opinion, this is exactly what I want to do. Even until when court are now asking him to stop. You know, don't bring National Guard, into our state. Don't bring National Guard into our state. But the president's opinion felt this is what matters. But when you say public opinion, let me tell you, election is coming. There are some people that when they talk about Tinubu, I'm not going to believe them, because it is about their ambition. But for him now, I am going to have, some level of trust in him. This is my
Isaiah.
Yes, but you see, when certain political actors speak, I am not going to believe what they are saying, because they only want to profit, from public opinion to their own advantage.
All right,
that is
go back to Isaiah, I just like to ask you, very quickly, Dr. Arabambi, when you say that the only person out of 68 that you have issue with will be Reno Omokri because of the preponderance of opinions about him, what do you say to those who say that it is morally wrong for the president to have nominated for an ambassadorial position the gentleman who supervised the election that brought him into power? Talking about the INEC chairman.
Thank you very much. You see, I've been on this station a lot of time. If anybody said, oh, we do not trust Mahmood, I mean, what's his name? Professor Mahmood. Yakubu Mahmood now, being appointed. I am a man that, believe in the rule of law. Everyone that talk about that election, they have been to, tribunal, Court of Appeal, and Supreme Court. And they've not been able to prove their case. You understand? So for whatever reason, people say, oh, this man rigged election. I have not seen where they were able to prove that. Even the case of our own party, where certain people hijacked the party social and we failed to field 53,000 polling agents. I beg to disagree that we cannot put such blame on Mahmood, because we were the one that failed to field 53,000 out of 180-something thousand.
If the election were to be considered perfect, squeaky clean, why should he be almost immediately after his tour of duty as INEC chairman be considered for ambassadorial position? What is he being rewarded for? He's an academic and return to the campus.
Well, there's something they call speculation. I think people are just speculating. And speculation is not allowed in law. The president has that prerogative. You understand? Just like you are now, you can choose to drive your vehicle home. You can choose to take Uber. You are the one that knows in your mind why you choose to drop your vehicle in the office and take Uber at home. So anybody that see you in your vicinity, look at Mr. Steve inside Uber. Oh, he doesn't have money. He's broke. That is their own speculation. They don't know why you choose, to do that. So I think the president, let us just give him that, right of opinion until when those people are screened. If anybody has, issue against Mahmood, I expected them by now to have forwarded their petition to the 109 senators. Because it will work against some people during the ministerial position. It worked. I thought there are some people, even the APC standard man, Baba Oshomole, I trust him. No matter who you are, if you have anything against you, he will read it out to Nigerians to see that, please, this person should not be, screened. So I think anybody that has anything to do, let us have it, in black and white. They should present it to the Senate, so that at least they will read it and let us see whether the Senate will compromise or they will not compromise.
And Isaiah, I'll come to you with one more quick question. Throughout all of this, we've really been talking about Nigeria's relationship with the U.S., but ever since President Trump made those comments about declaring Nigeria as a country of particular concern, Russia has also said that they support Nigeria's sovereignty. China has said that they support Nigeria's sovereignty as well. How do you think about the fact that these other major countries that have a tense relationship with America have come out in support of Nigeria in a way? How should we be thinking about our relationship with China and Russia right now as well?
Okay, before I respond to you, I want to, my brother there spoke like a classic politician, because you cannot say the public opinion doesn't matter. The public opinion matters. President is elected as a judge on the public opinion. That is democracy. So he is not authoritarian to dictate to Nigeria. And we cannot 100% put our hope on the Senate, except a few individuals like my sister, Senator Natasha. I know you are going to do justice to some of those lists. And Baba Osho, I want to see you as the comrade that you are on that floor. And I believe that Osho Baba, you are going to do justice and make sure some people will not skate through those things. Because I believe he said it this day, nay, and they are knocking the chairs, and Nigeria have nothing to do. And that is what you are sanctioning, that public opinion doesn't matter. It matters. Now to your question. I know there are political plays around all these political interests in all this Trump issue. But let me tell you this. If Trump have not stood up to speak truth to power in Nigeria, where was China, Russia, and all the rest of the country that are supporting Nigeria? Are they telling us that there's no genocide or there's no killing in Nigeria? My sister, me, that I'm talking to you today, my village, there is no single house standing. The herdsmen brought everything down. My house was burned to ashes. 6 of my uncles, my family members, were beheaded. My uncle was beheaded. His head was placed on his chest with tongue removed outside by herdsmen in my village from Kogi State. Are you telling me that is not a genocide? We are not talking about the number. We are talking about the intention to erase the whole community. What does that mean? And take possession of our land. That is what we are facing in Nigeria. Nobody was talking about it until Trump stood up. Thank God, currently, President Tinubu have sent troops into that area. Thank you for that. And even part of what the international community are doing is very simple, because Nigeria government need to wake up. It is now they are standing up to the truth of what Trump said. So why are they countering Trump when they are now doing exactly what they are supposed to do earlier on? As they have changed the new defense minister to the new man, which I believe is going to do very well. Now, the Inspector General of Police have also withdrew all the escort from the VIPs. And the escort, and according to him in the video I just saw recently, that is exclusively to exclusive of the community of communities, estate, and protecting some facilities are not included in the withdrawal. Only the escort of the VIPs, which is very good, so that people like Akpabio should be allowed to go freely. Let's see, let's expose this man to the insecurity that we are talking about. And the same people, the Senate that you were talking about today, were there when person like Sheikh Gumi was calling for amnesty for people who kill us. You came to my village, you destroyed my house, you took over my land, you raped our women, and you should be compensated. Sheikh Gumi should be arrested. People who are advocating for amnesty for killers and rapers of our men should be arrested. Just recently in Kaba, in Kogi State, my state there, you look at what herdsmen did in that town. You look at the peaceful people worshiping in their church, and then they came and ambushed them, killed some of them, and you are telling me to call those people to give them amnesty. God will judge some of these people in Nigeria. See, if I want Donald Trump to continue hammering on Nigeria, it will put us on our toes. Listen to this, Mr. Steve. One of the problems we have is because our politician doesn't have a means to hold them accountable. So they therefore misbehave and go scot-free. But now we are having Trump to hold them accountable. And we like it like that. Let there be somebody to checkmate their excesses. The excesses of Nigeria politicians have been unchecked over the years. For the first time, that we have somebody that is taking the bull by the horn, and we welcome it and let them continue, so that President Tinubu will start checkmating all the people around him. Those he's supposed to sack, those he's supposed to release of their duty. 2027 is still 2 years ahead. It is not yet time. President Tinubu have a long time to put the country on the right path. And he should continue on that path, not on the path of the politician and political rhetoric.
Isaiah, very quickly, let's just round it off this way. Only a few names you have issues with, and Dr. Arabambi too. But then out of 68, there are at least, more than 60 or thereabout that are good. Do you think that if they pass, we know those who will be going to the big three, US, UK, and France? If the Senate, if they scale through the Senate, do you think that this will bring about some of the desired changes that we are looking for in terms of how we are represented abroad and in terms of insecurity in some parts of the country? Very quickly, just a few words to round it off.
There are some names there that I know they are career diplomat. I've made a lot of career diplomat out of this country, and I know they are very, very good. People like Femi and so many people like, not the Femi on the list, not Fanny Kayode, one of the diplomats that I've met before. So very good people. They will be able to do their job and put Nigeria on the limelight. But Mr. Steve, don't forget, you cannot paint yellow to be black. You call it black. So the thing is that the internal crisis should be resolved to give room for the career diplomat to be able to sell us. I am not saying I'm satisfied with all the lists, the 60-something list. No, because some of them are old people. They are not supposed to be on that list. A former governor, a former senator, a former this is all political. We need young blood. We need people, youth of intellectual capacity to represent us with integrity on the international space. That is what we want as youth of this country.
Mr. Isaiah Davies, Ijele, and Mr. Arabambi, thank you very much for joining both of us on this very important topic.